Hey guys, today I would like to talk to you pretty much about the day that started to change my entire life. It was having to do with a breakup. I know that a lot of us deal with breakups all the time. One thing that I really wanted to talk about today was the breakup guilt. And I don't know if you know, by the title of the video, I'm pretty sure you do, that we all deal with breakups, and this is specifically to do with the guilt that comes afterwards, because there's always guilt. I don't know why, even if you're not the person, or you feel like you weren't the oppressor, or you did it in order to keep yourself safe, or your own sanity, even if you feel like you've done it for that, you feel like, oh, well, what if I made a mistake, or what if, because your partner, especially since this is usually in abusive cases where your partner kind of makes you feel like you're a bad person for doing what you did, or there are actions that make you feel bad for ending the relationship with them, when really you were just trying to create a better future for yourself and be your best self. For me, my situation, I was with a guy, and me personally, I'm a Sagittarius full form, so I love being free. I love having my independence, and it makes me happy when I'm independent. And when I was with this guy, I felt like I couldn't be independent because he wanted to be everywhere that I was, like everywhere. And I understand, like, wanting to be with your partner, that is perfectly cool, but it got to a point to where I couldn't do anything without him. I couldn't have my own friends without him. I couldn't even walk down the halls in school without him. And like, I couldn't go on school field trips without him trying to, make his way there. And that wasn't something that I wanted for my life. And so I ended it with him, but very, it's high school, so hormones and bullshit. There was someone else, and I ended up being with that person. And when my ex saw this, he was crazy, went rampant, and okay, I'm not gonna call him crazy, but he was crazy. And I remember the first day that he saw me walking out of the school with this new guy, he punched the shit out of a tree, excuse my language, but he punched the shit out of a tree, and his hands got all bloody. And my friends were coming up to me like, dude, did you see what he did? I'm like, what? No, what did he do? And then eventually later on, like, he comes up to me, and I like see his hands, and I'm like, oh, like I did that? Like, that was because of me? And I felt really bad, and it was hard for me to move on in my relationship when this was happening. And later on, time goes on, and like, his family is using his phone to message me and tell me that, oh, hey, he's doing this, why would you do this to him, how could you do this to him, he's punching holes in walls, he's really depressed, he's doing this, just over and over again, just harassing me about everything that he is doing because I broke up with him. And I had to deal with those inner demons for like the longest time. I was dealing with my inner demons, like, oh, I'm such a bad person, because that was something that I struggled with when I was younger, like, am I a bad person? And hearing all of these things, I'm like, oh no, I'm a bad person, like, how could I do this? And I was letting it take over my life for the longest time, and I was in a really, really dark place. And then I don't know what happened. I remember I was going to the grocery store, and I was walking, and I was thinking about the situation, of course, because I was always thinking about the situation, and I'm like, but I'm human. And for some reason, when I heard those words, it just clicked for some reason. And I was like, I'm human. I have a right to make my own choices, regardless of who it hurts, even if it's someone I care about. So it's important that we make decisions that are best for us, that are best for our best selves, because people who truly care about you and truly want to be in your light and in your presence will want you to be your best self. They will do whatever it takes to stay in that light with you. And if they don't fit, if they don't resonate with who you want to be or who you identify yourself as or who you are want to identify yourself as, then they're gonna have to fall away, or you're gonna have to, because endings are going to come. Some relationships are going to end. Like, that's a for sure thing. There's no question of that. And there's going to be a point in time where you have to be strong enough to end it. And I took that initiative, you know, for me, for my life and for my future. I took the initiative for that. And at first it's scary, because you do feel like a bad person, especially if you're, you know, you're so used to being around that person, having them in your life. And it's even harder when it like goes from friend to relationship, because then it's like, okay, now I have to really think about not having you in my life anymore, like not even as a friend. And like, you may have, like me personally, with this guy, I was really, really close with his family. Like, I loved his family. I spent days over there. Like, I could be over there if he wasn't over there. It was that kind of relationship. And to have it all turn around and turn back on me, like, it was awful. Like, it hurt me. It made me feel alone. It made me feel just like awful. And the guy I was with, he didn't have any real like opinions about the situation, just because he had never been in the situation before. So the most that he could do was, I don't know, assess the situation as best as he could. So even so, he wasn't experiencing it on my level. Like, I was by myself, and of course, like, parents, older siblings, like, oh, it's a relationship, it's fine, everybody has breakups. And it's like, but you don't know how it's going through. They do, they really do. But and I felt so, I don't know, so alone. And I just want to reach out to those of you out there who have been through this experience or are going through this experience and know like what it feels like to feel so guilty. But do not feel guilty for making the best decision for yourself. Do not feel guilty for wanting to be better, because even though this person may not have done anything particularly wrong to you, or maybe they did, I don't know your situation, it's still necessary. It's definitely necessary. If you feel like it is bothering your harmony, if it's bothering your inner peace, definitely take a chance on doing the difficult thing, doing what is hard, like what is going to isolate you. Like, don't be afraid to be alone in that way. Don't be afraid to be looked at in a different way for making your own choice, because in the long run it's best for you. It really, really is, because you get back to you. You become more of you, especially if it's like without this person. You get to become and see a new version of yourself, and that's important. It's important that we're constantly changing and that we're constantly growing and going through these experiences. It's important. So if anyone is ever trying to make you feel bad for breaking up with them, or if their family or anything gets involved with it, or if it's just you know, dealing with your own inner demons and inner thoughts, just know that all of it will make sense. All of it is necessary, and it's important for your growth, for you to experience all of these things. Like, it's perfectly fine. That's all part of the process, all part of the human experience. Don't worry too much about pleasing anyone. Don't worry too much about, you know, if, I don't know, losing friends because your friends liked you two together. Like, none of that even matters. One thing that I like to say is that no one lives your life but you. And so the one person that you should care about the most, that you should care who like thinks about you, or what you should care more about what you think about yourself. That's what's most important. You should care about what you want to do. You should care about just being yourself regardless of what anyone else says. Because I remember when the first time I took a trip by myself and going alone, and everyone was like, oh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go alone. I wouldn't do that. That's scary. It's scary to be by yourself. I'm like, God, it's scary. But to be honest, it almost got to me. I almost, like, up until the day before I was supposed to leave, I was like, I'm not going. That's it. I'm not going. I changed my mind. I ain't doing it. You can't make me. You ain't making me do it. And then I got to the day and I was like, why not? I already took the time off. I already booked the hotel. I already booked the, or sorry, not hotel, it was a hostel. I already booked the hostel. I already took the days off from work. I already had the money set aside. Like, everything was paid for. Everything was like all together. And I was like, you know what, why not? I have this time, why not? Let's go. So I took the time to go to LA by myself and be in a place where I was actually uncomfortable. Like, I specifically left on this journey so that I could be uncomfortable by myself, so I would make decisions for myself, because when you do that, you discover more about yourself. And I ended up having one of the best times of my entire life, and I can't compare it to absolutely anything because it was absolutely amazing. I met amazing people. I have a friend in Australia, and it just helped make my life more full, making my own decisions for me. And I think going forward, you need to put that into your life, you know, like apply that to your life. Live for you and the people who you want around you, or the people who want you to be your best. So if you're working hard and you're doing what's best for you, and people are trying to make you feel bad for it or separate themselves from you for it, understand that those are the people that do not need to be in your life anymore. Like, that's it. That's it. That's it. Done. And then once they see that you're not compromising, that you're not changing, they're either going to rise up to meet your level, or you can leave them right there where they're going to stay. All right? Okay. So that's all I have to say for today. I hope you have a good one, and thank you so much for coming to my video. Like, comment, subscribe.